Hi, got 5 minutes? I'm Dr. Stephen Knowlton, a family doctor in Reidsville, North Carolina. In this video, I'm going to discuss vaccines. Many of my patients do not have a background in science, so my aim is to make the science behind vaccines more understandable. Number 1. The first vaccination was described by Edward Jenner in 1798. He found that milkmaids who contracted cowpox were far less likely to have severe smallpox. Years later, an effective vaccine was developed for smallpox. Smallpox was finally eradicated from the world in Ethiopia by a team that included Dr. Befeqadu, who now resides in our town of Reidsville. Number 2. The World Health Organization now lists 25 different types of vaccinations. These include ones you are probably familiar with against influenza, tetanus, paralytic polio, measles, mumps, and chickenpox, to name a few. These vaccines have prevented disease and saved the lives of millions of people. Number 3. The coronavirus is like many viruses. The outside of a virus has protein and sometimes lipids, which is a type of fat. The inside has genetic material, either what is called DNA or RNA. The protein outside is like the chocolate outside of a chocolate eclair, or the bun that surrounds a hot dog. The RNA or DNA inside is like the pudding-like interior of a chocolate eclair, or the hot dog itself. Number 4. Viruses attach to one of our cells and inject their genetic material into the cell. In the case of the coronavirus, this is RNA. This viral genetic material then gets inside the nucleus, which is the control center of the cell, and directs the cell to make many copies of the virus. When the cell breaks apart, hundreds or thousands of these new viruses are released into the bloodstream, ready to infect hundreds or thousands of our cells. This is not good for us. Number 5. We have 1 trillion white blood cells in our body. These make up the army of specialized cells that work to fight off infectious diseases like bacteria and viruses. Some of these cells make antibodies, which latch onto viruses. Some of these cells attack our own infected cells, destroying them before they could release more viruses. Some of these cells are memory cells, which remember past infections or vaccines and can respond to an infection rapidly, releasing antibodies. Just like in a modern human army, this army of white blood cells has many types of different cells to fight off an infection. Number 6. Vaccines teach the body about dangerous viruses so the body can make antibodies and educated white blood cells to fight these if it is infected. Instead of waiting a week or two to figure out how to fight an infectious virus, the body is then ready immediately if it gets exposed to one. Number 7. In the past, one of the ways to make a vaccine involved either killing a virus or weakening it so it could not cause disease but would stimulate the immune system when it was injected into a person. In the last decade, scientists realized that they could also make a vaccine involving messenger RNA, which would stimulate a person's own muscle to make part of the virus coat, so the immune system would learn to recognize the virus way before a person was exposed to it. Number 8. Both the Moderna and Pfizer coronavirus vaccines are messenger RNA vaccines. A small section of the coronavirus RNA contains the information to make spike protein, which is the part of the virus which attaches to your cells when you are infected. When this small section is injected into your shoulder muscle, your muscle makes spike protein and releases it into the bloodstream. Your immune system, made up of those white blood cells, then learns what spike protein looks like and makes antibodies against it. If later on you are exposed to the coronavirus, your body is ready to spring into action against it. Number 9. The science behind our current vaccines is excellent. A lot of very smart people have developed these. Now millions of people in the USA have taken the Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. These vaccines have had a full review by scientific committees and are felt to be safe and effective. The vast majority of my patients have been vaccinated and generally have had minimal or no side effects. Number 10, it is now time for everyone in America to get vaccinated. Getting vaccinated is not only for your own health, but for that of your family, friends, and co-workers. It is the right thing for you to do to show your support in this war against an unseen assailant, the coronavirus. Thank you.